you want to do?
Did you not just tell me we were doing Digimon versus Dr. Manhattan?
Yeah, but then I got curious because I already debated you on Crossverse. It's on YouTube.
So you no longer want to do that? Okay. So
Yeah.
what other topics do you do?
I'll do any topic for real.
So why not just do that one?
Because I already debated you. Oh, so you want to do cross? Okay, cool. We could do Crossverse.
What topic do you want to do, bro?
Yeah, I got Digimon. I'll take
Okay, I have Dr.
Demon, I'll
Manhattan.
take
So
the Demon King. I'll take all the Demon Kings or some shit like that.
Go for it, bro.
You need scans, Archi, or you got it?
Yeah, okay.
Cool,
I need skins, Ryan.
All right,
Did
so
I ask you, nigga?
Oh wow, you lucky it's your month, you big black bitch. All right,
What?
I'll get my own scans. I get my scans.
I kill you,
go
bitch.
for it. I'm bored as fuck. Okay, so does your character does your character have particles?
I don't think so.
Okay, can light reflect off of your character?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think light reflects? So how do people see your character?
I mean, they can manifest in different forms.
No, I'm just asking, like, how do people see your character?
Well, it's not described. They just do it.
So we can assume that's because light reflects off of, because that's how people see.
No, we would. Why would we assume that in some fictional?
I just gave you the reason right after I said it.
You said people can see, but that's not the only possible way for people to see.
Can you name another possible way for people to see?
Yeah, so an author writing people being able to see without some other explanation other than them being able to see.
Doesn't give me an explanation.
It does explain. It is an explanation.
No, it really doesn't.
Okay, so an explanation pertaining to what?
Pertaining to people being able to see without light.
Yeah. Okay, so it doesn't need to provide why it is the case.
So you don't actually have an answer.
Yeah,
so
it doesn't have to provide why, but it can still be true.
So what's your next point?
It's justified if the author writes it. If so, the prior point follows.
Has the author read that people can see without light within your verse?
The author has written that people can see, and he hasn't written the existence of that phenomenon.
So that'd be a no. So what's your next response?
It's not written down to sign the verse. So yeah,
what's your next response?
Well, that's justified if it is the case it's not written.
So what's your next response?
What do you mean the next response to what?
Well, I just debunked your previous responses. So what's your next response to what I said? I mean, I did, but I don't care to argue about what you can't understand.
Okay, cool. All right, so my character can like erase physical things too.
Okay, my character isn't physical. What's your next argument?
Okay, so he can erase things that are light speed as well.
That doesn't matter to me.
Okay, so he can also erase things that fly.
Okay. My character doesn't fly. What's their argument?
My character can move instantly.
Your character can move instantly? Can you prove this?
Yeah, sure.
Go for it.
Yo, Archi, my headphones came in.
Your headphones? Yo, W, bro.
That video was $20.
What's the debate over?
Dr. Manhattan versus Digimon. He's taking like the 10 kings.
Digimon, digital monster, Digimon are the champions.
He's running a Doctor Strange or whatever.
I'm taking Dr. Manhattan. He's just the blue nigga from DC.
Oh yeah, my fault, Dr. Manhattan. If you're taking Dr. Manhattan, why is he even in a debate?
Who is that, bro? Shut your gay ass up, nigga.
I low key, bro.
Digimon monsters. Digimon. All right, let me see,
bro.
My fault, gang. All right, let me see.
Nigga singing the theme song. What's up?
Oh yeah, he has omnipresence.
I ain't gonna lie, you the man.
It follows from that he moves instantly because.
No, I was just bringing up he had omnipresence. I wasn't making the argument.
So you don't have a reason for why he moves instantly?
I didn't drop the point. It was just something that popped up on VSBW.
I was like, you don't have a reason for why he moves instantly.
Why are you assuming that? Are you not listening?
Because you didn't give one? I am listening. That's why I inferred that. Right? Because what you said wasn't an explanation to why he moves instantly.
Okay, so
it was something completely irrelevant.
Yeah, okay, so look, shut up with that deep ass fucking Discord mic. All right, so I sent you his profile on VSBW. They read that shit like they do with all characters, and then they wrote down his abilities. So you can see all the shit he has, and if your character can just beat
Why
all
is
of
their
that or whatever,
interpretation
like that, then that's fine.
any more
We
right
cannot
or
be
credible
for
than
real
yours?
right now.
Why is it more probable than my interpretation?
It's not what I just said.
Why is it more credible? Okay, so
Yeah.
how do we gauge what's more credible?
Generally by how accurate it is to the manga.
How accurate it is to the manga. Okay, so
Or whatever
what about if
you're
we're
reading it
operating
from.
in the framework of incomplete information?
What?
What about if we're operating under the framework of incomplete information?
What does that even mean?
Okay, what if we're operating in a framework where we don't have all the factors to, reach a conclusion?
The factors of
what's
what?
true? I guess what's true in the manga.
Then that means you would have an inconsistent framework?
That is...
Yeah?
Oh, you're saying we don't have it? No, not really.
So if there's missing data that leads to your conclusion, what do you think is going on?
Off of, do
you think you have a consistent set of data?
You're just yapping.
That's
some frameworks operate.
If you have an incomplete set of data that makes you unable to concretely lead to your conclusion, you think that's not inconsistent?
I've explained what I meant and what I said. You can respond, but I don't think that dumb shit.
I mean, I just did respond. Do you have an actual argument or what?
You responded with something that wasn't really relevant.
Well, it was relevant.
No,
I can understand from your perspective why it wasn't, because you weren't listening to me.
You sat there boxing air.
Can you repeat what I said?
I'm so angry.
What?
You were jabbing like shit.
So that's not a repetition. So do you have another point?
What the fuck is going on?
It was rhetorical. All right, so I literally sent you the link. They say that my character.
I've responded to this already. I mean, your link's not credible to me.
Why when I'm probably correct. Yeah, so they sent links in there, and then there's like manga chapters, and then
are you saying these citations are accurate to the manga?
Yeah, so if it is the case that at least in the manga and stuff like that.
Just a moment. Are you saying these citations are credible and accurate to the manga?
That they are consistent because it's expected under.
So that's the second time you've ducked the question. Are you going to duck a third time as well?
Right. So if it is the case that these people are consistent, it's going to be more probable they're going to be more consistent in the future, right?
What?
In the total sense, right? And
if it is the case that they're consistent, it's more probable they'll be consistent in the future. But you're a genius, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
So do you have an actual argument?
Yeah, I know that's not seeing laughing. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. Have you ever a response?
Well, yeah. I mean, I already gave the response. That's completely irrelevant, right? Earlier, my contention with the citations, and me asking if the citations were accurate, was the response. You just continue to yap and ignore it.
Doing this thing, right? Therefore, the rational probability.
You haven't seen any instance of it, though. This is just an anecdote that you've experienced, allegedly.
Well, you can, I mean, even if it is something that I've only experienced, I'm justified in updating the probability of it, which is
What do you think justifies a claim?
The seeming in the data.
The seeming justifies a claim.
Anytime
so if it seems to a blind person, like a tree is just a blurry object of nothingness, like a fuzzy blurry tree of nothingness, does that seeming accurately describe reality in this context?
Yeah. So 1 + 1 seems to equal 2.
What?
So it doesn't seem to equal 2 to everyone, because if someone is blind, or if someone has, for example, what's known as I forgot what it's called, but something where you see 2 of things, it would actually appear that you're expounding that. So when what it means for 1 + 1, it would mean 2 from their seeming, right? Because, or at least it mean 3 for their seeming, or 4 from their seeming, or 5 or 6, right? Whatever in blurs they see. But this isn't accurate to reality, even though 2 people have 2 different seemings, right? So there has to be some way outside of our seemings to link things to reality when we confirm it. Because people have all kinds of different seemings. We have all kinds of different subjective experiences.
W is expecting the scenario that they're true because their purpose is the scale.
They're true because their purpose is to scale?
Yeah. There you go.
How do you know they didn't fail at their purpose?
It says it on the website.
It can be lying. Who says they're telling the truth?
Sure, but I already have something that suggests my hypothesis.
And I gave something that suggested mine as well.
No, you didn't. You said, well, there's a possibility That's not motivation external from the possibility.
And who said it has to be external from the possibility?
Motivation is just some type of prior.
Wait, you gave hold on. You gave a context.
Okay, wait.
Why does it have to be? Why does it have to be external from the possibility? When I'm using the possibility to explain what's
I'm not going to use probability parameters. Just you can research that.
Who mentioned probability?
We were just talking about probability. You're lost in the sauce.
We're talking about possibility. Those are two different things.
You want to scale your character? Dude. Scale your character. I'm done.
I don't need to scale my character. I'm not using a scale. This is just a win con.
This is not just
I explained why my character can thrash yours.
Scale your character. I've already sent the.
Okay, so I think since your character, right, is composed of particles, then my character can destroy yours.
I could literally just say, given the fact somebody makes claim of X to be the case, it's more than one person that suggests my hypothesis as well, and I'm justified in updating my degree of certainty about that given thing. That
responds to my argument. Why? That responds to my argument. Why?
In response to your argument, why?
Yeah.
Well, it talks about how my argument is more probable. You gave the contention that it. Well, you gave the. You kind of.
That doesn't explain how your argument is more probable. That doesn't even have to do with particle manipulation.
Well, that's something way earlier in the conversation. That's what
I just mentioned it. How is it way earlier?
Oh, well, I was talking over you.
No, you weren't. Everyone heard me. You were talking to yourself while you were muffled.
No, I was talking to you and over you.
Well, you asked me to scale my character, and in response, I gave an argument for my character. Are you retarded? Did you not track your own argument and what you wanted? You requested for me to explain why my character wins, so I just explained it to you.
Booty butt. Get an argument for your character, please.
I already did.
Oh, you said your character has particle manipulation?
Are you retarded?
Okay, to what extent?
To the extent of subatomic particles.
No, I'm asking on what can you do with it? Can you do this on a multiversal scale?
So if it's subatomic, that assumes that he can do it everywhere.
No, I don't think that's true.
Okay, I'll explain. So subatomic particles are just any particles that are responsible for fields of extra particles that we see in real life. Okay, and that we also see expressed as people have matter in comics and how people can move and how people can see and things can be tangible. Okay, but the smallest extent of that you can get down to is subatomic particles. That's why in every representation, subatomic particles is the most deep level you can get into. If you're asking the radius of how much he can affect it, if he can only affect the subatomic particles in a certain radius of 5 feet or 10 feet, he's been shown to affect the metaverse and the multiverse of DC. If that helps.
Subatomic particles are the building blocks of atoms. They fall into categories: protons, neutrons, and electrons. Beyond the basic fundamental particles, these include, broken down in the current theory of quarks, broken down in protons.
You have to explain elementary particle physics.
Okay, so cool. So that's just something that exists within your verse, right? Why does that?
So you guys wait. So there's no matter in your verse?
There's no matter in my verse.
Is that what you're implying from saying that?
No, I'm asking you why it's relevant, but I don't think
it's relevant because your characters have matter. That's assumed by the fact that you said your character can move.
I don't think my character's form is encompassed by whatever the terms are for how they describe your verses.
What are you talking about?
I think that in form, my character is different from how your characters are built up, or if it's built up. I don't even want to say built up.
What are you even saying right now?
Is how his body works.
How his body works?
Yeah.
My character doesn't even actually have a body. He just uses particles around to represent himself as a body. He doesn't even have one.
Your character's particles, my character can destroy that. It's fine. Your
do you not know who Dr. Manhattan is? It doesn't matter if his body's destroyed.
Huh?
It doesn't matter if his body's destroyed.
Oh, what do you mean it doesn't matter if I destroy everything of him?
He can still survive. Because it's not actually everything of him. He cannot be breached.
Oh, wait, what? Okay, that is the most dumb shit I've ever heard. You just said nuh-uh.
If you really think about it, not really, right? So my character survived what's known as particle annihilation. Do you know what that is?
Dang, bro. Tell me the nuh-uh chance. No.
So do you know what particle annihilation is?
Particle annihilation is...
Yes.
I don't think it matters.
Okay, well, particle annihilation is to have every particle of you erased. Do you know that the littlest amount of matter in existence you can get to is a particle?
Oh, well, I don't think that's true for...
Okay, that's okay. So I'm going to send you a citation on this, okay?
Yeah, that can be true for some world. Right? I don't even think that's true for our world. That can just be...
there we go.
To be honest, that could all just be false.
Right here. And there you go. Go ahead and read it like.
I'm not reading it, but again, I don't.
That's okay. You don't have to read it. That's my evidence, though. So if you don't read it, you can't really contend.
Power abilities, like my character can just turn you to nothingness, like contradictory.
Can you prove that?
Yeah, it's stated on the website. I already showed you.
I've already responded to why the website's irrelevant. So if that's going to be your basis of evidence, can we move on?
You didn't respond to why it's irrelevant.
I don't care about what you think. It's on recording regardless, and everyone's seeing it. So do you have another argument, though? Because I don't really care to respond to something I've responded to already.
So, do I? Oh wait, they send the links. Yeah. Okay. So when you scroll down, on the website, they give like the chapter references for like each ability and shit like that. So I
responded to this already.
You didn't. You did.
I did. I've already asked you why those citations have to be accurate to the manga, or if they're canonical to the manga.
What does it mean to be canonical to the manga?
So it means to be canon and accurate and true according to the events that take place within the manga.
Do you understand what it means to be true? Do you understand what it means to be true to a fiction?
Yes.
What does it mean?
So it means that the events that take place or a proposition is going to be accurate or in alignment with the events that take place amongst the fiction.
Okay, so what does it mean for an event to take place in a fictional sense?
What does it mean for an event to take place in a fictional sense? That means within a narrative or some kind of fictional universe that event A takes place. Now, all event A means is for a specific movement, body, or action to happen, right? For something to be observed, right? All it means is that it has causal consequences.
You're fucking stupid. Okay. You said...
Can you explain what I said that was stupid?
Hold on. Stop. You said
I'm just asking you a simple question. Like, what did I say that was stupid?
Down the causal consequences.
What was that?
Which causal consequence?
Why did you ask which causal consequence? This assumes I'm referring to a specific instance. You just asked me what, in general, a fictional event taking place is.
Well, if you can't point to me as a specific instance, why would I could just say you lack empirical confirmation. I could just reject that theory.
Do you know what I'm saying to you?
You're saying that fictional events...
So I'm giving a general definition of what I'm saying.
Causal process. Because all I take it that fictional truth is just X being affirmed, but you didn't know that, right? In any case, we talked about fictional truth. It's just the author affirming X. So anytime I show you a screenshot or I show you a manga chapter of X being affirmed, that's what truth is. Now,
I'm back. I didn't hear anything you said. I was talking to someone.
Let me educate you, stupid. So you can say
I didn't hear what you said. I was talking to someone.
They say Goku was at Whale Island, and now in chapter 50, he says he's at Taco Island. Well, it's just until contradiction. Unless the author says this is not...
It's until contradiction? What are you talking about?
Demonstrated. Yeah, this is demonstrated.
I don't know what you mean. Like, you're not elaborating on what you're saying. No one can understand what you mean.
I go to the website. Anybody can see that there's links that VSB...
Well, yeah, I'm asking you to justify those links. That's trivial. In order for me to ask you to justify something, I have to already assume that it exists. You telling me there are links there doesn't do anything.
Nobody's going to think you won because you're so ass and shit. But
that doesn't matter to me. Right? I just want an argument or a response.
For a little bit, right? So we know what the website's for. We know what it does. I've justified it.
Only you know this.
You don't have arguments with your character, and you didn't even know what truth was in fiction. You just started to say...
I mean, I defined it. You called it dumb. I asked why it's dumb, but you didn't tell me why it's dumb. You just called me an idiot and moved on.
You took time in this conversation to talk about random shit you had knowledge on to look good, instead of giving arguments for your character.
Well, no, it was to explain why my argument actually works.
No. You literally would...
And I hoped by explaining it that you would be able to respond, but you haven't even responded to those arguments that you're calling dumb.
Why my character's abilities must follow their rules throughout the conversation. You couldn't do that.
I never said that they have to follow your rules.
Okay.
I explained why you already assumed they did. Because your interpretation of matter and movement fits a line and is descriptive with how we define how matter works, right, and how momentum works.
It's over.
And I've already sent the citations for that up above in chat, which you told me that you wouldn't even read.
It's over, bro.
What are you talking about?
It's over the debate.
So you concede?
No,
okay,
we're concluding.
That's fine, I guess.